Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CWC Conscious Win Concept Show number 1. Very first show, bringing to you guys. It is 9:06 p.m. on a Friday night. What a good night to debut a show. By popular demand, we're going to be covering a topic that quite a few people have asked us to cover as it relates to modern dating. So, you have myself here to give you the male perspective of what I think the issue is, or the issues are, I should say. And my sister, Amina, here, who needs to introduce herself because nobody knows her yet. She is her first show with me, so why don't you do a quick introduction? Tell the world who you are.
Hello, I'm Amina Wynn. I am the older sister of Hassan Wynn, and yeah, we're doing this together. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
All right. So, the two siblings going out on a little entrepreneurial limb here, and hey, let's see where it goes. All we want to do is we want to do three things here. We want to entertain, we want to educate, and we want to enjoy ourselves. That's pretty much what I want to do. The 3 E's, I guess you could call it if you want to get cheesy. But the most important thing for me is that we have fun and we actually learn from each other and educate each other and make this a positive experience versus a negative one. I think everybody needs a little bit more positivity. So with that being said, let's jump right into the show. Now, modern dating. Everybody wants to talk about modern dating. Almost everybody. I go to the barbershop. You guys, for the females, you guys go to the hair salon, and everybody wants to talk about how, this guy that I went on a date on. Oh, let me tell you about this guy. I go to the barbershop. Oh man, these girls are crazy. This is ridiculous. What's going on out here? So, and we all have fun and we laugh about it, but I've noticed it's become a pretty serious problem. It's to the point where I think it needs to be talked about more in an open forum discussion like this, where we can get the thoughts of the audience, probably a lot of the audience of people our age, maybe a little bit younger, and we want to get the perspective of people who are younger, people who are older, a little bit older, maybe even than us. Do people still date past my age? I don't know. That seems weird, but maybe they do. So we're going to talk about that. So with that being said, in 2022, is dating dead on arrival? Let me explain that question. Is it worth it to date? Is it worth it to go out here, download these apps, get matches with people in your inbox, texting back and forth, maybe eventually meeting for coffee or something like that with one or two of those people? That's a lot of time. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of effort. Is it worth it? Of course, it's not one size fits all, right? Everybody's going to have a different opinion as far as what is your time worth to you. For me, it's not worth it. So I'll just be honest right now. I don't date. I just don't have time. I mentioned that in the demo. I don't have time to date. It requires time. It requires energy. It requires effort. It requires money. Let's not leave that one out. I left that one out in the last video, but it requires a lot of money. I don't care what you say. Girls don't get excited about going out to Starbucks. I'm letting y'all know that now. That's one thing I have learned. I have a lot of girls complain about that to me. And then he want me to meet him at Starbucks. So it's like, okay, hey, good information. Hey, don't ask her to go to Starbucks. She's going to get mad. So they be just trying to take us out for coffee and stuff. Yeah. So so these are the things we want to learn. We want to learn from you. What are the issues? Why does that annoy you? So for me, as I pass the topic over to Amina, because we want to get the female perspective, because I could ramble all day about this stuff, but I want to get the female perspective, and then I'll come back with a little bit more insight, and we'll go down the bullet points and address all those topics. So, Amina,
Yeah.
Are you currently dating?
No.
Why?
I too do not date. I have, so I can go by past experience. So that's what I'll do. And as far as dating websites go, I did that too. So I have a little experience in that area. But as far as dating goes, no, I tried dating and I did do it. And it's weird. It's very different in your 40s. Very, very different in your 40s. People, that's where I think, is that where ghosting came from?
I guess. See that? So ghosting, right? So I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't know what that was. So when I first became single, I was at work and I heard two girls having a conversation, and one girl kept saying, and then he just ghosted me, and I was like, what's going on? And I asked, and I had to ask like what that was, and she was like, she started laughing. Well, you don't know what that? Don't act like you don't know. I don't know. No, I was married a long time. I don't know anything. I was in a cocoon. I knew nothing. So I had to find out what that was. So now ghosting is something that I think it's done. It gets done to everybody, but I mean, it seems to be something that people are just doing now just to do it. Like it's interesting to meet someone. Oh, we think we have something to go. We had a drink. We had some fun. Let's exchange numbers. We text a little while, and then somebody ghosts somebody. Why does that happen?
Well, I think ghosting happens as far as I can only speak for being in your 40s. So I think ghosting happens in your 40s because people honestly just don't have time for other people's BS. And if there's anything in between the two that does not match up, that does not mesh, they can just say one thing that's wrong or might not be wearing the right shoes or anything. It could be really, really petty. It doesn't have to be anything big. People are looking for an immediate kind of matchup. Everything has to go together. And if it doesn't, they're just not wasting their time.
But why though? Is this lack of patience? Because
Yes.
the last time that I was in the dating market, I was in my early 20s. So it was very different back then.
When you're in your 20s, you have time. You have lots of time.
Makes sense.
You have time to grow together. You have time to learn each other's quirks and things that you like and don't like about each other, things that you will compromise for. A lot of people are not compromising so much in their 40s is what I think. Don't have time to compromise.
All right.
Don't want to anymore. You've done a lot of compromising already, probably. If you were married, if you were in long-term relationships, you know it's compromise that keeps the relationship together most of the time. Isn't that the glue?
Yes, it makes sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. And I think time was the key thing. One of the things you said there is super, super important, especially like I mentioned that two or three times already. I don't date because I don't have time. It isn't because like I'm like a lot of people think, oh, he's bitter and hurt. He doesn't want to date anybody. That's not really what it is. What it is more of just if I'm going to dedicate the time to invest in learning about somebody, learning about their hobbies, learning their pets' names, all of those things. Do I really want to do that? No, I'd rather, do other things. So for me, it's a simple equation, but for other people, because I know people who are out there who are actively like trying to date, like in their 40s right now, trying to date, and they're incredibly frustrated with it. What's the solution? How do we fix this? What is the problem? Do we need to be more patient? Do we need to lower our standards? Because nobody wants to lower their standards. Let's be honest.
No, you have new standards. Your standards are, I think, by the time you're in your 40s, you have new standards. You have maybe higher standards, and you have things that you simply will not stand for. And that's a portion of the ghosting too, because if someone shows up, some of the things that you might have allowed in your 20s, you won't allow in your 40s. You just don't have time for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a mother, and if you're divorced and you have children, then you're a single father, you're a single mother, and time is of the essence. You are you don't have as much time as you used to have. You've got to put time into your child and time into your job and hopefully time into yourself if you have a workout routine or some sort of routine that you keep up with for your own health and well-being. Those things should come first, and then the person. I always tell people, you're going to be really upset if you wanted to date me. I will not give you what you deserve, right? They deserve
right.
time.
Let me stop you there,
okay.
Because that's exactly what I say. And we didn't plan this. We didn't say, hey, let's say the same thing of why we don't date. Did not plan it, but that's the reason that I don't date, because you're going to probably get frustrated pretty quickly because your expectations, even females, let's be honest, you tell us that, oh no, we can just be friends and we can just do this and we can do that. it always starts off like that, and then it trickles into something more than that. And when it starts to do that, for me at least, I say, okay, let me let this person
and
go.
vice versa.
Yeah. Well. Now
A lot of times, women would like to have someone that they can go out with, share things with, but don't want to get serious with. And when the guy wants to get serious with you, it can become very uncomfortable.
No, I get that too. And now a lot of guys are a lot more clingy, I think, is the best word to use. Like a lot of guys I thought, got more needy during the pandemic, especially. Like a lot of guys were like, really, like, I don't want to be alone. Like there's a lot of people who aren't comfortable in their own skin in that way, where just having a dog is not enough. Like they need to have an actual physical person there, even if that person brings them grief. That's something that I've noticed a lot. I mean, I think it's quite common, actually. I think it's more common than we want to admit.
Relationships, convenience.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we know some of the hurdles, now that we know that people don't really want to lower their standards, because I think that's a big thing too. I think guys and females are guilty of that, but the females' standards right now are extraordinarily high. I mean, we can't do it today. We'll be able to do it in future videos. If I would share some of the TikTok videos that I've seen as doing research for this show. Why are y'all talking so bad about us? Like the women now are just talking so bad about guys. I mean, it used to be, and we're going to get to, and that's what I want to, this leads us into the next bullet point. What do we consider to be a good man or a good woman in 2022? Let me start with the good man. And I have it in parentheses here in quotes, because it used to be, when I remember, when I was younger growing up and when I was in my early 20s, a good man was the guy. He had a job, good job, drove a decent car, had a nice, maybe house in the suburbs or a really nice apartment, maybe had 2 or 3 kids, a dog, career man. He's looking at, he's been in the company 20 years. He's looking to retire one day. His wife might be a teacher or something like that. Mm-hmm. She may work, maybe work at the bank locally. And it used to be a happy, and it seemed like everybody was happy. So you were like, okay, good man. And I know I just described 1950s Leave It to Beaver style stuff to a lot of you, but that's what I remember being normal when I was growing up. I know I'm not that old, but I used to watch that show though. I'm not gonna lie about that. I used to watch that show. It used to come on after school. You remember?
TBS.
Yeah, absolutely. After school. People from West Virginia, our age, you know about that too. TBS after school, you already know. So, and before school, by the way. But so good man. I want to know from your perspective, you're a woman in your 40s, what do you consider to be a good man? Because what we don't know. We actually don't know what it is anymore. It's not a guy it isn't a guy who's doing any of the things that I just told you. Because those guys that are doing all of those things, you want me to tell you what the women are saying? Oh, he too boring. I mean, he don't even be trying to do nothing. He just want to go to work and come home and stuff. What else does he have to do? If he's doing all of the things that I just mentioned there, why is that not good enough for the majority of women out here that I'm seeing that are in the marketplace? What's a good man to you? Let me leave it there.
All those things you said, and it really should be. Those are all very good qualities and everything that you would want. You want him to be loyal. You want him to go to work. You want him to come home. You don't want him to hit you. You don't want him to hit the kids.
Yeah.
You want to just have a normal living.
Normal guy.
Why it becomes boring? Because I have witnessed women that have had it very, very good. Very good. Yeah. Brings flowers home.
We've all seen that.
Takes you out to eat, buys you things, buckets of jewelry. I mean, I've had friends that have had it really well and was bored and cheated on him, lied to him, stole from him, snuck out of the house in the middle of the night, kind of like crazy stuff, because they needed excitement, because he was just same thing every day. Maybe
was it okay? So is it too predictable? Like
maybe it's the predictability.
He's too predictable. He's going to go to work. He's going to come home. He's going to stop and get a 6-pack of beer. He's going to come home. He's going to take a shower, and he's going to want to have sex after the shower.
And the same sex too. And
it's going to be the same sex, right? So you're already anticipating everything that he's going to do. So he's too predictable. You need a little bit more excitement in routine, in just. This is why just go to YouTube. You'll see it all over the place. This is everyone says, well, why does she want the bad boy? Why do they chase the bad boys? And then they get hurt by the bad boys, right? And then they want to eventually go back to the good guy that they originally had before.
Yeah.
No one can figure this out. Like, you can ask women, we're going to have women in the comment section. You're going to see this. You're going to say this. She just said it. She doesn't even know.
I don't know.
She has no idea. That's what's funny about this. She doesn't know. She's like, yeah, he does all those things. Yeah, that's what we say that we want. But then he does all those things, and then that's not what we actually want. We need him to be exciting, and we need him to like what. So this is why guys are confused. This is what I'm telling you. This is why guys are confused, because we no longer can. It used to be a time where maybe it wasn't
There's
a time.
A small percentage of women that are quite happy with that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, for sure.
Perfectly fine.
For sure. There is a segment of women who, okay, let's address that. We speak in generalities here. So when we say women, we're not talking about all women. When we say men, we're not talking about all men. We're talking about the majority. So if it's 60-40 even, it's the majority, right? In this case, it's probably a little bit more. But the reason it's a topic is because most of the people that I'm talking to out here, everyone's saying the same things, right? Everybody's saying, man, what do we need to do? How do we get along better? How do I get a good partner? How do I find a good partner? How do I even know if this person is running a scam, a playboy? How do I figure this stuff out? And is it worth my time to try to do so? So we speak in generalities. We don't want to offend people, but it's what we're saying here is, I think a lot of the audience is going to say, man, yeah, it's exactly what happened. Yep, this is exactly what happened to this person, that person, this person, that person. So now that we know that we are all confused, because I think we all are confused by
women
this.
Women like drama, too.
Women like drama. I mean, and women actually, that's the thing. Most of the female friends that I have, they all admit this stuff. Let's address this. Why do women do this? When you talk to me one-on-one in private, you tell me all of the same things that I'm talking about right now. You tell me about all of your friends and all of the dirt that they're doing. I can't believe she did that. And this one snuck out of the house and did this. And this one snuck off and went to Vegas with this guy. And this one did this. And I can't believe what this one did. She just told me about all of her friends right there. But then she'll turn around and say, I don't know what y'all talk. I don't know women like that. Me and my friends get along. I don't know what kind of women are you guys dating? You guys, I don't know what guys you're talking about. Because me and my friend, but you just told me that. Okay, so why do y'all do that? Why do y'all act like that? That's the only thing. We don't pretend here. I don't like to pretend. I get annoyed with people who pretend. Why are we pretending? Why don't we just be honest and say what it is, right?
That's a woman thing. Women pretend. Some women pretend, and they don't. They pretend to be something that they're not. They say, "Oh, I would never do that." What?
I never do that, and she just did it.
This is my first time ever doing this.
I've heard that one a lot. It's funny. I heard a story yesterday. I was talking to a guy. He actually had a video out about it. Him and his buddy, I think they were in Mexico, and they met these two girls. One of the girls one was older. One was like 41. The other one was like 26. His buddy approaches the one girl. The younger girl finds out, she says, I have a boyfriend, so he backs off. The older one actually approaches the other guy and says, what are you guys doing, this and that? She was married. The 41-year-old one was actually married. They were there. Her husband was not there. Long story short, they end up hanging out with the two girls. They end up spending the rest of the weekend with the two girls. And the 41-year-old lady was happily married, is what she told them. So when I hear these stories, it just makes me wonder, like, okay, she may legitimately actually be happy, like in her mind, right?
Yeah, just like the husband who's generally happy, but he's able to cheat on a whim and go home and clean himself up and kiss his wife and go to bed and go to work the next day.
Now, is it different when men do that versus women? Is it cheating, the cheating aspect? Is there a difference? Why?
Women, we plan, and it's quite emotional.
Okay.
And I think that's what makes women can usually forgive. We forgive more. We forgive the man more when the man cheats and let him stay. when a woman cheats, he can't stand the sight of her because he knows that it was emotional.
Sure.
She's got her feelings involved. She's been planning it.
Oh, she's definitely
been talking and texting for a while before she even did it. There's a lot went into it. It's we don't just usually cheat on an afternoon.
We do. Like and let's be honest, guys. And there's dudes out there right now talk about that. What is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Come on, dudes. Yes, you do. Dudes cheat on a whim. I mean, it literally like on a whim. Like it literally could be like. Literally, I've been in spots where that has happened. Like there's a guy that's happily married. He was. He's back. He's done. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. So, but it's. I'm glad what you said that because women do plan. Guys, a lot of guys are going to get frustrated with me when I say this. Your woman is always 2 steps ahead of you. Just keep that in mind. I know there's a lot of dudes right now. No, I don't know what he's talking about. Nah, man, I got everything planned. What are you talking about? She's always 2 steps ahead.
Because we plan.
She's always 2 steps ahead. Whatever you're thinking about, she already thought about it. So if she's cheating, like it's been in the works for a while. Like it's not like it's tomorrow. I've had enough. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. She's been planning it out. She's always 2 steps ahead. She knows what's going on before you do. Just keep that in mind.
She says I've had enough, but I'm not telling him.
There you go. So now we rambled a bit, but we covered good man kind of. Because we know that you guys, that good man doesn't qualify anymore. Guys, we got to come up with something else. That good man that we were talking about, and we know this already. Like a lot of the guys that are listening to this, they're like, yeah, we already knew that, man. What are you talking about? We've been knowing that. Like, what are you talking about? We know this. We dialed in to hear you tell us what to do because we don't know what else to do. I get it. It's frustrating. Good woman. All right. Now, this is simple for me. For me, it's very simple. I'm a simple man. I've always been a simple man. My sister will tell you. My family will tell you. He's a very simple man. He doesn't need much. A good woman for me? Looks. Yeah, you want some looks. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say, you could look like anything, babe. No, I'm not going to lie. You got to have some looks that I like. But that's less important now. Women, I'm hearing this. Maybe this is not true. I've been hearing more and more of this. I like a woman to cook for me, right? Like if you're my woman, my wife, whatever, I would like you to cook for me. I know that sounds blasphemous to some of you women right now. They're thinking, what is he talking about? This is ridiculous. What is this? The 1950s keep me in the kitchen? Like, because I've brought this up before and I've had women talk about looking at me like, and I'm like, what? Oh, y'all don't cook for your man? Okay. I mean, I thought that was normal. I thought that was normal. Apparently it's not. So that's something to talk about. For me, I would like you to cook. And just don't be disagreeable with me. And then let me take you where we need to go. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. The criteria is very, very simple. I know it sounds like it's too simple, but that's really as simple as it is for me. Now, what I'm hearing from a lot of guys is that women don't want to cook anymore. They don't want to clean. They really kind of want to compete with you now more than anything. Like it's not a contributing, like, let's put stuff in a basket. Let's do this. It's almost like she has to feel like she needs to compete and maybe be above you in some way. I mean, and I blame, there'll be a show on feminism coming up, but I blame feminism for that. I think it's created a competition that doesn't need to exist. Women, I feel like women don't need to, you don't need to compete with me. I mean, okay, if you're not my woman, fine. Yeah. Compete with me for the promotion at work. But if you're my woman at home, why are you competing with me in the house? You've already committed to me.
I don't get that.
So can you explain like why it's harder for guys to find? Because what I'm hearing is that there are no more women like this. Like if they are, people don't know where to look. So what? Explain.
See, it's hard for me to explain because apparently there's so many different groups of women that believe so many different things now. It wasn't kind of like that like when we were kids. I think it was one goal, go to college, get married, have some children, and maybe, when we were little, maybe, you would have that banker's job or teaching job or nursing job or something like that. But now it's so different that I can't even put it in for myself, put it in a category. You need several different people with several different group ideas.
Yeah.
But a good man, in my opinion, is like me, would be someone that I can count on, someone that can protect me and support me and can recognize when I need a hug, can recognize when I need a little extra attention. Girls need attention. I'm sorry, guys, but
no, you sure?
We need a little extra.
Never heard that
TLC
before.
Every now and again, yeah,
just a little.
Yeah, and a compliment wouldn't hurt.
A compliment here and there, yeah. And I was guilty of that. I'll admit that.
And we like to hear "I love you." Guys, a lot of men think because I'm taking care of you and showing you, that's enough. But it's really it's not. We like to hear it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Go to work, come home, make me feel like I'm being at least taken care of. I don't want to compete with you. I want to be treated better than you. I want you to treat me better than you treat yourself.
I would think that would make more sense. I mean, the reason I'm confused by this is because, remember, long-term marriage. So my marriage was traditional. I saw my parents had a traditional marriage, right? The only marriages that I saw were traditional marriages. So that's why it doesn't make any sense to me now when I hear about how these modern marriages are, when I'm hearing about everything's 50-50 and we make sure that everything's the same. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, why are y'all doing this? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
So that's all of that. I want to get that across. If nothing else in this show today is it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. What are we doing? Think about what we're doing. You're literally competing with the person who has already committed to you. That person is going to take you to the promised land. Why are you clipping at his heels? Let him take you there.
That's a conversation that needs to be had before you
exactly
get into all of that. And that's another thing. Maybe that's where the ghosting comes from. They can feel the competition, or he's not doing better than you in so many ways. So maybe he's just kind of here, and you need him to be here.
But when he gets there, does he have to go here? Like, that's the other thing. It's like, when is enough for? And that's why guys, they're just confused, because guys are like, listen, what else do I need to do? Yeah. What else do I need to do? I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything. What else? And women, we want to hear from ladies. We want to hear from you. I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you want us to do? I'm speaking for the male perspective right now, and on behalf of all my buddies right now, yeah, because they've been dying for me to say this. They've been dying for me to say it. I'm saying it now. What do you want us to do? What do these men need to do to qualify for you? Because the bar is just ridiculous now. Like, we did the bar, we can't even see it. We're like, where's the bar at? So now, with that being said, we're in this, guys. This is going to be a 3-part show. This particular topic, because I have at least 2 to 3 guests that want to actually be part of a roundtable discussion on this topic. We have a young lady who's going to be here, a young gentleman, to get the young perspective. So it's going to be really interesting. So that's what we're going to do with these shows. And we're going to build off of these original topics, and we'll expand those shows into bigger shows with guests. And that's going to be really fun. So keep a lookout for that. We're going into the last bullet point here. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Are dating apps a complete waste of time for the majority of us? I already mentioned in the demo video that, in my opinion, the answer is yes. I think that for the average man out here, unless you are the apex predator alpha male out there, and we know who these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're him, your pickings are rather slim on most dating apps in terms of what you're going to get attention from. Now, you'll get some attention, but it might not be from the ones that. So you're going to get pretty frustrated pretty quickly, because all the ones that you do want to actually talk to, they don't have time to talk to you. Because
her phone is full of ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Dating apps are good. I said it before. Dating apps for female are really good for your ego.
Mm-hmm.
You set that thing up, you put your picture on there, and almost immediately your phone's
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Going off. All kinds of pictures. A lot of them inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least 50% inappropriate.
Guys,
Stop doing this.
let me interject that seriously. Stop. I have seen some of the stuff that you are sending to these young ladies. Come on, man. Like, is that like really? I mean, and I get it. I mentioned it in the last video.
Or even telling us about it. I don't need.
But he's trying to get noticed. Like, does that, like, if a guy does that to you, does that make you, what does that make you think of if that guy that does that? What do you think?
It's recently happened, actually. I got something in my DM and he was telling me about the size and everything, just telling me. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the message and I went.
He was telling what? Okay. That deserves 2 of those. Because
he says, no offense, but this, did I say?
Yeah.
Okay. No offense.
We're adults.
This dick long, though.
Okay.
And I said to myself, what am I supposed to do with this message? Like, I'm a registered nurse. I have nothing I have not seen.
Did you respond to him? Did you reply? Like, because how do you reply? Like
I didn't reply.
Like what? Like how do you reply? Oh, it's really like
thanks
what?
for telling me. No, I didn't.
Now that must have worked for this guy before, and guys, now maybe it has worked for you. If it's worked for you, let's hear about it in the comment section. Because if it works, because I hear about a lot of dudes doing this.
It might. I guess if you throw enough on the wall, somebody will say, "Oh, let me see."
It has worked. I will say that it has worked. But I think I think by and large it's not going to work. I don't think that you should do that, guys. Stop. Stop with it. Let me give you a couple things to stop doing. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. The dudes there'll be a show on this. The dudes that are on OnlyFans. I need to know why. That's number one. And I need to know because I actually know a young lady who does OnlyFans, makes a lot of money doing it. She showed me some of the things that guys send to her. It was unbelievable. I could not believe it. I'm talking about men. This girl's in her 20s. These guys, some of these guys were in their 40s, 50s. One dude looked like he's in 70s. The stuff that she was showing it to me. She was laughing. She's like, "Oh, look at it with this guy." And I'm looking at what these dudes are saying, and these dudes, guys, is it that bad? Are we doing it? That'll be a future show. I don't want to talk about too much right now, but we got to talk about this because I'm worried about my brethren out here. Like, what are we doing? Because OnlyFans is our fault. Let me just put that out there now. OnlyFans is men's fault. Everybody's mad at the women. Everybody's mad at they're making all this money, showing their bodies and all these things, which we can debate the morality of that, and we will on the future show. But men, we're the ones who did it. We enabled it. So we'll talk about that on the future show. So to wrap up, as we're bumping up against the time, dating apps are a waste of time. So you are saying because I remember you did a longer
experience.
Okay, go ahead.
I downloaded a couple of apps. I did the Tinder. I did OkCupid, and then a couple of Meet something. I don't know. Yes, my phone was dinging like crazy. Yes, I got a lot of messages. Did I go out on a lot of dates? No, a handful. And I did find out that maybe it was just for my ego, just to see that I've still got it or whatever. Because it had been a while. I left my daughter's father. We weren't together. Or was not dated.
You need a confidence booster.
It was a long time.
Confidence booster.
Mm-hmm. And it was a confidence booster. It kind of helps you get back out there. I realized from the dating apps, I deleted after a short while. It was a short run, less than a year on the dating apps. I deleted them. I said, "This is just not." I would just rather either have a good friend or someone that I can count on a couple times a month, or something like that. But this whole meeting strangers is just not my thing.
And now, especially when you have to wade through except for guys, from the guy's perspective, we have to wade through I did it for maybe I might have lasted 3 weeks. I think I did Bumble, Tinder, and one of those. They're all the same. I mean, they all. As a matter of fact, I was seeing the same girls on all of the different ones.
And yes, I did.
I was like, wait a minute. Then I saw a girl I knew on there. I was like, okay. It's like I was coming across this.
I saw my daughter's father.
Well, I think that's.
Oh my God.
I think that's happened too. But that's going to happen with
Did that happen to you?
Yeah. That actually happened with me and my ex. Actually, she called me up. She was like, "Are you on any of these apps?" I'm like, and I was trying to think like, which? I'm on a few of them. She's like, "What is it? Are you on this one?" She sends me a screenshot of me on the app. I'm like, and we laughed. It was fun. We laughed. It was fun. It was hilarious. Luckily, I didn't. Luckily, it didn't. The app might be a good app because it didn't match me and her back up. So maybe I was like, "Oh, we were on the app at the same time." It went right past it. It was like, "No, go." I swiped. It wouldn't even let me stop on it.
We're not doing that again.
No, you can't do it. I tried. Yeah, I deleted the app. But anyway, it was fun. It was entertaining. Like, I'll say that. Like,
yes,
there were some interesting women that I did at least have dialogue with that were at least like entertaining. Like one or two of them were. Then some of them start telling you things like that was the thing I couldn't get past. I'm like, some of these women are just weird. Like, I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what
people are weird.
Like, what is wrong with it? I'm like, it was weird to me, and I was like, okay, let me get off. I'm just getting off the apps. I thought it would be easier than this. Now, to be fair, I do have two friends that got married, met girls on Match. I never tried Match because I think Match is more if you're looking to get married. Like, I know there's levels to this, right? Like, there's sites. So. Yeah. So which ones did you try?
Tinder, OK Cupid, and something meet something. I don't know.
Meet and greet. Something like that.
Yeah, it was. I like the attention. I'm a girl.
But even you got off of the apps. Even you got off because you were thinking, this is not me. I don't have time for this. And I'm sure you got a lot of attention from a lot of young guys, right?
No, it was a variety pack, I think. But yeah, variety.
So, guys, in a nutshell, dating apps are fun for women. They're annoying for us. I mean, that's really in a nutshell. That's what it is.
You can get a lot of free meals out of dating apps.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you I mean, a lot of guys, women are doing foodie dates on y'all. Just letting I mean, y'all already know this a lot because guys aren't even doing it anymore. But that'll be a future show too. Guys have caught on. See, women, y'all. I told you, y'all talk too much. I told my sister the other time, y'all talk too much. Had y'all simply just not said anything, like we still wouldn't know anything. Like dudes would still be doing all the same stuff that we were doing. We would still be
women talk.
Y'all talk way too much. Like y'all give all the information. I'm like, y'all realize y'all can get away with almost anything if y'all just shut up.
No, that's not.
But they won't do it anyway. They just still. I'm like, okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's funny to me. My sister admits it. I have a lot of ladies in my family. I have multiple sisters. I have multiple daughters. I was surrounded by a lot of women. People in my family know this. It's not a lot of guys. Like we were slim pickings in my family. It was like a couple of us. Like there's only 3 guys over there. The rest were women on the other side of the room. Yeah, ain't many of us out there. So been around a lot of women. So anyway, guys, it was a fun show. We're bumping up against 40 minutes. I think it's a good time to kind of wrap it up. We just had some fun here tonight. I think it was some fun banter. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be building on these shows. You're gonna see as we move along and progress. You're gonna see just a variety of things. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna add things to the show. We're gonna add a guest to the show. Hit us with the comments for sure. Hit us with the likes, hit us with the subscribes. The faster you do that, the faster the channel will get noticed and the faster that we can all kind of learn a bit more from each other because more people will see it, more people want to come on the show, more people want to expand knowledge, more people want to have these kinds of discussions. And we can build a little community here. So, Amina, you want to say anything before we wrap up?
Want to say anything? No. Thanks for having me. This has been fun. Let's just keep this going. Let's learn about each other. And like you said, let's grow. Let's share. And I know we're going to be judgy. People are going to judge. Yeah. That's part of human nature.
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. Let's try not to be Try not to be so mean to each other.
Yeah. We're just having fun here. We know we're gonna get some backlash. We'll get some flack. I mean, people are gonna, but the whole idea is to create dialogue, and like I said, with the variety of topics that we're gonna bring to you, man, it's gonna be something for everybody. I'm looking forward to it. We've got a lot of content coming down the pipe. So we're gonna wrap it up. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Peace.